Greeting nerds and virgins. It's Shadow Boy MMA here. You're in no face cam today. Sorry about that. Today I'm going to be ranking fighters by their IQ. So example, 100 IQ, 75 IQ, 50 IQ, 25 IQ, and 0 IQ. So let's get started. So first off, we got Arnold Allen. I'd say he's a 75. I mean, yeah, that Evloev fight really showed his fight IQ. A lot of people actually thought he won that. I mean, I thought Evloev won, but I can see a case for Allen because he caused the damage. And yeah, those Granby rolls were actually really smart. I'd put him at 75. He hasn't really shown he's 100 IQ yet. But yeah, he's a 75 IQ. Next up, we got Israel Adesanya, the racist. But so I would put Israel Adesanya at 100 IQ, and let me tell you why, okay? As much as I don't like him, he's really good at the leg kicks on the outside, picking his opponents apart. But actually, I'm going to move him down to 75 because Sean Strickland exposed a big hole in his game, where if you back him up, he doesn't really have an answer for it. So yeah, he's going to go to 75. He does bad versus pressure fighters with good defense. So if you want to beat Israel Adesanya, you got to be a pressure fighter with really good defense. Next up, we got Brendan Allen. I would put him at 25 IQ. Like, he could have made that Chris Curtis fight a lot easier for himself by taking him down while he wasn't gassed in the earlier rounds. Then rounds 4 and 5 started striking with him, in my opinion, if he didn't get the submission. But yeah, I think he'd be a lot better if he was more confident in his grappling. Maybe it's not even a confidence issue, it's an IQ issue, and he actually thinks he's got smoke on the feet, but nah, he ain't got none. So I'll put him at 25 IQ, to be honest. Next up, we got Jailton Almeida. I'm gonna put him at 0 IQ. Like, how the hell are you gonna stay on? How are you gonna take Curtis Blades down and then curl up from nothing? Like, a freaking hammer fist had you curling up. Why go for takedowns then if you're just gonna curl up? And against Curtis Blades, who's not even a good striker, I would have kept that fight on the feet anyways. Why are you shooting takedowns non-stop? Like, buddy, you have to go to 0 IQ for that. I'm sorry, Jailton Almeida. But yeah. Next up, we got Magomed Ankalaev. I'd put him at 50. Like, he was getting leg kicked a lot by Jan Blachowicz, and he doesn't really seem too all that smart in the head. So I'm actually gonna move him down to 25. Yeah, he's an inbred. But next up we got Edson Barboza, a bit of a one-trick pony. So I'll just put him, like, on the feet he's 100 IQ, but in MMA I'll put him at 50 IQ because he's very one-dimensional. And Sean Brady, oh my god, he's a 0 IQ. Like, how are you gonna let Bilal Muhammad TKO you, bro? Like, also, your cardio is shit, so why go at a pace that you can't keep up? Like, you gassed out against Chiesa. You're not him, bro. You got no gas tank. You're horrible. And honestly, I don't see you going far in the future, no offense, but enjoy the 0 IQ, bro. Next up, we got Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, I'd put him at 75 IQ. The way he was... Actually, I might move him to 100. Jan Blachowicz has underrated fight IQ because against Magomed, he found the weakness with the leg kicks. Against Israel Adesanya, when Israel Adesanya was undefeated, he found his weakness with wrestling. He found weakness in Pereira's wrestling as well, but he got robbed off that. So yeah, he's 100 IQ. He fights every style the way they should be fought. So 100 IQ for Jan Blachowicz, 100%. Next up, we got Gilbert Burns. This guy's a 0 IQ fighter, 0 IQ straight up. I mean, did you see his last fight where he got kneed? Like, bro, how you gonna get kneed by Jack Della Maddalena when you're up 2-0, bro? Just pick your shots better, bro. You're being too obvious every time you shoot. He sees it coming. You started creating a pattern. Also, you throw overhands like crazy. You're going 0 IQ, bro. I'm sorry. Next up, we got Joaquin Buckley. Yeah, him versus Vicente Luque. Him going to Vicente's guard. That he's got high IQ. I'll give him that. So Joaquin Buckley, you can go to 75 IQ. Next up, we got Kumshot Chimaev. This guy has 0 IQ. I'm gonna be real. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you could be a way better fighter right now if you actually had fight IQ, but you just go in there expecting to dominate everyone, like fucking steamroll them and spam takedowns. Imagine he didn't get that choke on Kevin Holland. He would have been fucked because his arms are done. Also against Kamaru Usman, he's so lucky that wasn't a 5-round fight. Against Gilbert Burns too, he's lucky it wasn't a 5-round fight, even though Gilbert Burns also has no gas tank. So yeah, Kumshot Chimaev, 0 IQ fighter. Hey, I expect what we got with Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. 2 0 IQ fighters. But next up we got Henry Cejudo. He's a straight up 100. The best breakdowns in the game, you already know. I recommend you guys watch his breakdowns. And even his fight tactics. Like, when he fought Merab, if he wasn't old, bro, he 100% wins that fight 10 out of 10 times. Would have knocked Merab out, but sadly he's old now and his gas tank couldn't keep up. But Prime Cejudo, trust me, he solos Merab. And next up we got the Eraser Paulo Costa. Nah, he's not that high. I'll put him at 25 IQ. I'll put him at 0 IQ actually. He doesn't even know how to make weight. But let me tell you what. I mean, every fight is just the same thing, the same brawler style. He has good kicks, he has good punches. He never uses his grappling offensively. Yeah, he's a 0 IQ fighter. He has nothing he does with fight IQ. Everything he does is just brawling. There's no fight IQ to it, so yeah. Next up, we got Colby Chaos Covington. I will give him 75 IQ actually. The fights against Usman, the second fight in particular, he figured Usman out. The first fight they were like brawling, but the second fight he figured him out. He at least got a draw from that. If not, he won it. But yeah, Colby Covington is really good at mixing stuff up, really good at game planning for specific opponents. Like, yeah, versus Jorge Masvidal, he was spamming takedowns. Versus Kamaru Usman, he wasn't shooting, he was keeping it on the feet. But in the second fight, he was mixing it in a bit, which actually ended up working, and he actually should have won that fight. So yeah, I'll put him at 75. Next up, we got Michael Chandler, 0 IQ. Do I even need to explain this? Guy just spams overhands every time. And then, if it's not an overhand, then it'll be a lucky face kick, front kick, up in Tony Ferguson's face. So, yeah, he's 0 IQ and he gets... But if it was a luck tier list, then he'd be at 100. And I might do a luck tier list, so make sure you like and subscribe and comment. But next up, we got Dominic Cruz. Yeah, this guy's... He's a... I'll put him at 75. He has a good mind for the sport. He always comes in with a good game plan. Although he always comes in. I'll move him to 100 actually. He always comes in with a really good game plan depending on his opponents. He was open to leg kicks in the Cejudo fight, but I think that has more to do with the fact he's washed. Cejudo would never do that to a Prime Cruz. And yeah, next up we got Chris Curtis. I think he's 25 IQ, I guess. I mean, he's nothing special. He lost to fucking Brendan Allen over the weekend. Nice one there, buddy. Can't even beat Brendan Allen, then your future ain't looking too bright, I'm sorry to say. Next up, we got Paul Craig. Paul Craig is a straight 25 IQ fighter. He just gets lucky with submissions off his back. So congrats on being one of the luckiest fighters in the UFC. Next up, we got Beneil Dariush. Oh, that Gamrot performance, bro. That Gamrot performance was incredible. That Gamrot performance moves his... That was such a smart fight by him, stopping all the takedowns and knocking him down non-stop. But then when he wants to offensively wrestle, he does it very well. But wrestling Charles Oliveira was a dumb move, actually. So He's going to 50 IQ for that alone. Shouldn't wrestle Charles Oliveira. Next up, we got Grant Dawson. I mean, do I really even have to include him in this list? Because how are you going to get one punch KO'd by Bobby Green, bro? I just put him at 0 IQ because he's fucking nobody. Next up, we got JDM. JDM is a fucking beast, holy shit. What he did to Gilbert Burns was incredible. With the knee out of nowhere, down 2-0, and he comes in with that knee. Yeah, he has a very high IQ when it comes to defensive grappling and striking, but what he doesn't have IQ with is takedown defense. He'd rather pull a guillotine than defend a takedown, which is going to put you in a lot of trouble at times. So you got to stop pulling the gilly, and for that reason alone, I'm gonna move you to 50. But his striking IQ is very high, but I'm gonna need to put him at 50 IQ. Next up, we got Drew Dober. I mean, he's just a powerhouse. Doesn't mix in takedowns. He just punches. Non-stop. Put him at 25 IQ. Next up, we got the champion of middleweight, Dricus du Plessis. I mean, he's a brawler. He gets extremely lucky all the time. He doesn't have the highest fight IQ, but him mixing in the takedowns against Sean Strickland was fucking genius. Him taking down Darren Till was genius. So, he does create good game plans at times. I need to watch him versus Izzy to give a more fair assessment of his IQ. But I'll put him at 50 IQ for now because he actually does have good IQ, but he brawls a lot, which is stupid. Next up, we got Merab Dvalishvili. I would put him... I mean, every fight, it is the same thing with him. I mean, he wasn't shooting as much against Cejudo, but him versus Jose put us to sleep, bro. That wasn't even smart. I think he doesn't have any IQ. He just does the same thing every fucking fight. Which, when he doesn't do it, he gets rocked, like against Marlon Moraes and Henry Cejudo. So I guess I'll just put him at 50 IQ because he just fights his style. He doesn't adapt at all. But that's because he doesn't need to adapt. Next up, we got Leon Rocky Edwards. He actually makes some dumbass decisions during fights, like shooting takedowns against Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. People say he won the grappling exchanges against Colby Covington. No, he fucking didn't. Look at the control time. Like, what? Every time him and Colby got in a grappling exchange, he ended up on bottom. Like, even when he got the takedown on Colby scrambled right back up and took him down. When he shot on Usman just stuffed it, and he was in a bad position every fucking time. So, yeah, I'll put him at... But his striking IQ is very high. That head kick needs to put him at least at 75. But he does make dumb decisions. But for the head kick alone, I'll put him at 75. Next up, we got Josh Emmett. I mean, I'll put him as his straight 0 because, yeah, the same as Michael Chandler. Just a brute with the same overhand every fucking fight. Next up, we got Movsar Evloev. Movsar... Yeah, he's a smart fighter, like versus that Grundy UK wrestler. He stopped the takedowns and rocked his shit. And versus everyone else, he was taking them down. But he did lose to Diego Lopez, but Diego Lopez got robbed, sadly. So taking down Diego Lopez was a bad decision, but then again, he would have got KO'd on the feet. Man, if that's short notice, Diego Lopez doing that to him, imagine a full Camp Lopez. But yeah, I'm gonna put Evloev at 50 IQ just because of the performance against short notice Diego Lopez. Next up, we got Justin, the highlight reel Gaethje. Yeah, Gaethje's, he always talks about his high fight IQ and how everything is calculated chaos, but is it though? Is it? Because, bro, like him and Tony Ferguson throwing the same uppercut at the same time, him and Michael Chandler just fucking throwing overhands. He said himself that he got lucky with the Poirier head kick. He's just a very lucky fighter, I think, at times. And yeah, his fight IQ against Khabib, like, what was that fucking game plan? Our thoughts was, if he went for it, You know the famous tweet from Weasel, if he went forward against Khabib, it will be the easiest fight of all time. But yeah, he started running, had his back against the cage the whole time, the worst thing you can do against Khabib. So I'm putting him at 0 IQ. I'll put him at 25 IQ because, yeah. Next up, we got Davison Figueiredo. Yeah, he has high fight IQ. I think, like, he adapted in the Moreno rematches when he finally got the win, but then he did lose again. But I think that has more to do with Moreno adapting than him being a bad fighter. So I'll put Figgy at like 50, I guess. Next up, we got Cody No-Chin Garbrandt. He used to be a 0, but now he's actually sticking and moving a lot more on a 2-fight win streak, about to be 3 when he knocks Davison Figueiredo the fuck out. You already know. But yeah, I'm putting him at 25 because recently he's been actually using his head. But yeah, he's knocking Figueiredo out, and y'all know it. Next up, we got Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, I'll put him. Dude, he's 0. What was that heel hook attempt? That heel hook attempt costed him the fucking entire fight against Ngannou. Even though we still think he should have won, a lot of people do. Anyways, I thought Ngannou won, but a lot of people think Ciryl Gane should have won. That. Why the fuck would you go for a heel hook? Keep the top control, you dumb cunt. You're about to be the fucking world champion and you're going for a heel hook? Yeah, now you're never going to see gold, so nice. Next up, we got Ian Machado, the Cut Gary. You know, striking-wise, he has high IQ, but he doesn't mix in takedowns. He's not a full, well-rounded mixed martial artist. Striking-wise, I'll put him at 50 just because he's very smart on the feet. And next up, we got Bobby Green. Bobby Green, I mean, that lucky shot against Grant Dawson was pretty fucking genius, but you know, when he fought Jalen Turner on short notice, he didn't really do anything. Just in a lot of his fights, he doesn't mix it up a lot. He had a good performance against Fiziev, but I mean, come on, bro, shoot some takedowns. Like, this guy's a like 500 Muay Thai fights or some shit. You want to strike with that guy? Okay, bro. I'm gonna put Bobby Green at like 25%. Next up, we got Jamal Hill. If Paul Craig can pull guard on you like that, you're not very high fight IQ. Like, you're pretty one-dimensional. If Paul Craig can pull guard and armbar you like that, bro, that's pretty pathetic. The fact you let someone pull guard on you like that. So I'm just gonna put him at 0. Like, he had a good performance. He's been having good performances, but you can't let anyone pull guard on you in MMA. Are you serious about that, bro? Next up, we got Max Bless Holloway. Max Holloway is a really good fighter, but smart fighter. What has he done that's smart? Like, he's a brawler. Oh, against Yair Rodriguez, I did rate him mixing in the takedown, so because he respected Yair's craziness with his striking. But he does have good fight IQ. He's good at stopping takedowns. He's good at using his strength, which is inside boxing. Even though he's tall, he said himself he has T-Rex arms, so he has to be on the inside against a lot of his opponents. Yeah, I'll put him at like a 75. He has pretty high fight IQ. Next up, we got Kevin Holland. Those Granby rolls were really good against Hamza Chimaev, but then he got caught in that dust, bro, and he turned the wrong way to escape the dust, and that's just no, bro. And against MVP, bro, you're not really using your grappling that much, and when you did have him down, you didn't do anything with it. Like, you're not that high fight IQ. I'll put him at 25. Next up, we got Matt Favola. Yeah, taking that head kick from BSD was very dumb. Shouldn't do that. Put him at like 25. Vicente Luque is a 0. Why the fuck are you pulling guard on Joaquin Buckley, you dumb fuck? You cost my parlay, mate. You ruined my parlay. Nice one. You ruined my fucking parlay. Yeah, I was so pissed off when he did that, and he's no longer. He used to be one of my favorite fighters. Not anymore. Fuck no. Why the fuck are you pulling guard? Did you quit? Did you what? I don't know, but that pissed me the fuck off. Next up, though, we got Jack Hermanson. He has good fight IQ. Like, good on the outside with his boxing, like against Chris Curtis. But why wasn't he mixing in his takedowns against like a lot of these strikers like Sean Strickland? And he's just standing with them. Jared Cannonier, he's standing with them. Like, dude, you have really good grappling and you're standing with these fucking elite strikers. You should mix it up a bit more. Yeah, I'll put him at like 25 IQ just because, and especially since he has the skills, but he just chooses not to do it. Next up, we got Dan Hooker. Could have had a better game plan for Islam Makhachev. He looked very good against Jalen Turner. Yeah, I mean, he's a brawler though. Like, I'm gonna put him at like 25 IQ because he's just a brawler. Next up, we got Calvin Kattar. Yeah, he has good fight IQ. He nearly beats Zabit. He's really good with the jab. He couldn't adapt against Max Holloway though, which was weird. But the performance he did on Dan Ige was fucking incredible against Josh Emmett too, where he got robbed. But I'll put him at like 50 IQ. Right, next up we got the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley. I'm gonna put Sean O'Malley at like, you know what? When it comes to striking, he's 100 IQ. He's very long, very rangy. He's the best ever I've seen actually using his range, other than maybe John Jones. He's the second best rangy fighter in MMA history. Like, he's so good using his distance, his reach. So I'll put him at 75 just because his grappling is still very unknown, but he's very good at like takedown defense and shit. And he has good BJJ. I remember that one roll he did against Peter Yan. That was fucking incredible. But yeah, I'll put him at 75 right now, but he could be 100. Next up, we got Dan Ige. Dan Ige is straight trash. I'm just kidding. He's good. I'd put Dan Ige at like 50 IQ. Next up, we got Neil Magny. Again, a veteran, a gatekeeper, but he has good fight IQ. I'll put him at 50. Next up, we got Shara the Bullet. I mean, he won a fight off his back. He was on his back for like 15 minutes against Bruno Silva and won somehow. So that's pretty fucking impressive. I'll put him at like 75 just because of that. Islam Makhachev is 100 IQ. The way he adapted from the first fight with Volkanovski to the second fight, that was fucking genius. Yeah, he's 100 IQ for sure. And the way he approaches each fight differently, like against certain people he'll strike, against certain people who'll grapple, against certain people who'll mix it up. When it comes to fight IQ, you want to look at this guy. Next up, we got McG. So McGregor, I'll put McGregor at about, if it was fight promotion, I'll put him at 100 IQ because of his striking IQ. Also, he has very good takedown defense, and he comes in with good game plans, like against Chad Mendes, Eddie Alvarez. Yeah, I'll put him at 75. Next up, though, we got Charles Oliveira. I mean, he's just a brawler. This guy comes in to bang. Not a lot of fight IQ to it. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, high IQ. Comes to striking, high IQ. But he just loves to brawl a lot of the times. He has the skills to be even better than he currently is. But I'll put him at like 75 fight IQ. But if he fixes the problems he has right now, like his defensive problems, then he would be the greatest fighter of all time, which he's already close to being. Alright, next up we got Corey Sandhagen. I mean, this guy's a straight 100 IQ. If you watch his YouTube, he has really good breakdowns as well as Henry Cejudo. And yeah, he mixes up the takedowns now against certain people. Against other people, he'll strike and stop their grappling. That TJ Dillashaw performance where he got robbed was incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna put him at 100 IQ. Right, next up we got Volkanovski. You already know Volkanovski has very high fight IQ depending on who he fights. Like Yair Rodriguez, he'll take him down, wrestle fuck him. And against Max Holloway, he'll outstrike him. He's a genius. He went neck and neck with Makhachev. Taking the short notice fight was 0 IQ, but him as a fighter in general, I'll put him at 100 IQ. Next up, we got Sean Strickland. Nah, he doesn't have that high fight IQ. I'm gonna be honest. Like his style, the way he beat Izzy is just how he fights. It's nothing to do with his IQ. That's how he fights versus everyone. Against certain people, it won't work. You don't see him mixing in the takedowns a lot. I mean, against Uriah Hall, he did. So I'll give him credit. I'll put him at like 75. He does have pretty good fight IQ. Next up, we got Aljamain Sterling. Okay, Aljamain, I'm putting Aljamain at, I think his fight IQ actually got him the belt by, like, he's showing his head to Peter Yan. So yeah, I'm putting him at 100, but also just as a fighter in general, he fights smart depending on who he fights. Although the Sugar fight was a bit dumb and he probably should have been shooting takedowns, what can you do against Sugar? Like, if you come inside, you're going to get knocked out. The only way you can take him down is if you crawl at him so he can't hit you with a knee or some shit. So yeah, he did all he could. But I'll put Aljo at 100 IQ. And finally, we got Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker. I'm gonna also put him at 100 IQ depending on who he fights. He fights very smart. Like Israel Adesanya, he was mixing in the takedowns in the rematch, and he probably should have won that. He's beat every fucking contender there is. Strikers, he'll wrestle them. Wrestlers, he'll defend their takedowns and knock them out. So, yeah, 100 IQ. But yeah, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know about what your thoughts on this list is below. And yeah, I'll see you at the top.
Hey, you tried to break me, but you couldn't tear me apart. I've got a fire inside, gonna ignite and restart. I'm rising up higher than before. With every step I take, I'm closing in on the score.